How long does it take to reach $1 million? So I did a video on that, how long it usually takes to reach $1 million, but it really depends on your savings rate, right? So let's talk 401k for a second. So if you only have a 401k as an example, and you're able to max that out every single year up to the IRS limit. So this year is 23,000 for the year 2024. And with a, let's say 5% employer match, it would take you about 16 to 17 years to reach 7 figures or $1 million if your 401k performs an 8% average annual return. Okay. And you can download my 401k calculator by visiting fivesuch.com/resources.
That's some pretty good inside information.
Take a look at this. Okay. So let's just say that I'm going to put age for 1. Okay. Just to show you how many years it would take out the employer contribution. And I'm just going to do the max out 401k every single year. Okay. Now, if that's the case, going from 0 to $1 million, it would take you 18 years to reach $1 million. So at about 17 years, that would put you at $952,000. So you can download this calculator if you want to, or you can schedule a session with me. But obviously, this is not counting for the employer contribution rate. But let's say your pre-tax income is 100,000 and your employer contribution is 5% every year, and you're able to max it out every single year. Then that puts you at about, that puts you at 16 years to hit $1 million because of the employer match. So employer match is really, really huge. If you can somehow find a job with a large employer match. I have met a client in the past, way back. His employer was giving him 50% match up to the IRS limit. So back then, I think this was like back in 2021, the 401k contribution limit was like 22,000, maybe 21,000, I can't remember. But the employer was willing to give him 50% up to, let's say, 20,000. So they were going to give him $10,000 every year for doing $21,000 every year, right? So that was really sweet. So if you find the right employer, maybe that makes a lot of profit. And if they do any profit sharing at all, and if you receive any RSUs, that could be really, really huge when it comes to your retirement planning. I mean, I just showed you, right? That's giving you 16 years instead of 18 years to reach 7 figures. Now, do you need $1 million to retire? Not necessarily, right? It just really depends on your passive income streams. You might have, real estate income coming in. You may have Social Security retirement income. You may have military pension. You may have VA disability or something else that's coming in for you. You might not need all $1 million to retire comfortably. But to most people, that $1 million is kind of like a fire goal, so to speak, right? If you look at in terms of financial goals, for me anyway, it's always been like, I'm going to reach my first 100,000. I achieved that, right? Many years ago. And then my next milestone was to hit $500,000 in my investments. And then the next milestone was reaching $1 million in net worth, not the same as investments. The next milestone was to achieve $1 million in investments. That's another milestone. So that's something to think about when it comes to financial planning. Like, hey, what are your milestones that you want to achieve? But you don't want to just blindly invest, and you don't have any goals behind it. You don't do anything behind, what are you going to do with $1 million, and then you don't spend it. That's really the problem that I have with maybe some of the savers. And I was like that too. Like, I'm just going to save, and then I'm just going to enjoy it when I'm in my 60s. No, I want to enjoy it. I'm going to type this. I want to enjoy it when I'm in my 40s. I want to enjoy it in my 50s and 60s. I don't want to wait until I'm 60 to enjoy the money that I have been saving. I'm not saying that you should be irresponsible with your spending, but I want you to be very intentional with what you're doing. I am putting away 25% of my income towards my retirement, right? I got my 401k, solo 401k. I got my Roth IRA. I got my HSA. Those are done, all right? Now I am investing in my taxable investment account, and I am saving this much money so that I can retire earlier, or maybe buy something that I want. Maybe I want to buy a boat. I don't want to get a boat, but maybe I want to get a boat anyway. People say money doesn't make you happy. I think that's false. I think money can make you happy. If you use it wisely, if you're being intentional with what you're going to do. If you haven't really thought about that, I want you to really start thinking about it, because I can give you all these numbers, right? All of these numbers, and say, hey, if you invest all 18 years, you're going to be a millionaire. Cool. What are you going to do with it? I don't know. You know what I mean? By the way, I am so fired up to announce the launch of my private FIRE community for people just like you and me who are passionate about investing, saving, and achieving financial independence and exploring different possibilities to retire early. My private community will allow you to connect with me on the platform and get in touch with other like-minded individuals or couples who are just as serious as you are with the FIRE movement. As a member of my private community, you'll get resources like investing, saving, paying off debt, or finding the right place to grow your money. For a very limited time, please enjoy the free trial by clicking the link in the description below. Oh, the other thing I wanted to show you, I thought that was really interesting. 401k millionaires surged 43% in the past year. And you can read this article, or is this from Market Watch, because the stock prices are up, right? So naturally more people are going in, but it says the first quarter had 485,000 401k created millionaires. That was a 15% increase from the last quarter when there were 422,000 and a 43% increase from a year ago's count of 340,000 people. That's incredible. So the average 401k millionaires, it took them about an average of 26 years and have an average contribution rate of 17%. And this is something that I've been telling everybody about, because people ask me like, which one's the best index fund? Which one's the best mutual fund to invest in? But I'm like, wait, hold on. What is your contribution rate? Oh, I'm putting 5% away. Wow, you're not going to get to $1 million, with just a 5% contribution rate. You got to boost it up. You got to go to 10%. Okay. If you can't get there yet, find out why. Maybe you're in debt. Maybe you're trying to pay off your car payments or your credit cards or your student loan. Okay, that's done. Move up to 15%. And then eventually move up to 25%. Can you max out your 401k, right? You're on the financial independence channel. So if people say nobody can do that, that's not true. People who watch my channel, they have been doing it. And if you feel like I'm never going to be able to do it, you're never going to be able to do it. But this article itself even shows that an average IRA balance reached $127,000, up 13% from the previous year. And more people are investing, contributing to their Roth IRAs, not just 401k. So if you're wondering if you can do it, you can absolutely do it. And 16 years, 18 years, sure, that's just in a 401k, but you could get there a lot sooner if you choose to set aside some of your money intentionally for retirement, and set aside some of your money for fun, and some of your money for whatever else that you want to do. You need to find that, okay? You need to be more intentional with your spending and saving so that you get to enjoy that money that you've been working very hard to save. So great question though. 16 years for 401k if you get the employer match, but that's just one of the examples.